the Lions are legit. Like, the Lions are really, really good. Look, we don't know how the defense is going to be the rest of the season, especially with the Aidan Hutchinson injury, and they did give up some points here today, but when the chips were down, they got the stop they needed, and Jared Goff led the Lions to a game-winning field goal. Just an unbelievable game. It just really, really entertaining, from Dan Campbell's fake punt on the first drive of the game. Like, by the way, Dan, nobody's fooled anymore. You don't have the element of surprise. We all know you're going to fake at least once a game, it seems. So just leave your offense out there.
Like, if you're going to fake the first one, don't be a coward. Fake the second one. Nobody will see that one coming. I don't care if you're on a Euro 10-yard line. Fine, just do it. You already did it once. Do it twice. Now you're making them think the rest of the game.
There's so much to break down this game, but I'm going to start by I don't think I could take a victory lap yet on my Jared Goff for MVP summer, but boy, is he playing well. Against Brian Flores has confused C.J. Stroud, Brock Purdy, any quarterback that they've faced. Like you said, they've put in a blender, have looked terrible. In this game, Jared Goff, 22 of 25, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 140 rating. Jared Goff is going to get in this MVP conversation right now. Like, this is a thing that's happening, because I think the Lions proved today they're one of the best teams in the NFL, without a doubt. To go on the road and beat that Vikings team after a lot went against you. You're down 10-zip early in the game, partially because of that fake punt. You have David Montgomery gets the ball peanut punched out, fumble return for a touchdown. You're losing late in the game. You have to punt late in the game because you take a sack. All these things were adding up on them, and they just keep battling back. It seemed like every third down, Jared Goff found somebody downfield. This game said so much about the Lions to me. And not just because of the standings. We knew what the ramifications were for the NFC North race, right? Like, you're going to go 2 games behind the Vikings. They're going to have a win in hand. This is not good for you if you're Detroit. It wasn't a must win, but you really kind of want to win this game if you want to win the NFC North. But more than the standings, I thought that this team faced so many moments in this game where I think most other teams in the NFL would have faded away. Oh, we're down 10-zip. Oh, we gave up a fumble return for a touchdown late. Oh, we're not going to get the ball back and drive all the way downfield. They just kept coming back. This offense is awesome. I think it's the best offense in the NFL. And this is just a big, big win for the Lions, aside from just what it meant to the NFC North. It's a big win for them saying, you know what? We're one of the 2-3 best teams in football right now.
I hate when we sit here and say it's this quarterback versus this quarterback, because it's not. Like, quarterbacks take on defenses. We know that. But I was watching this thing thinking, man, if I'm about to get a generation of Amon-Ra St. Brown versus Justin Jefferson with some version of anything you can do, I can do better. Like, you want to talk about 2 guys that just came into this thing and said, you will not cover me. It was remarkable. And you're talking about 2 defenses that knew that that's what they had to take away, and neither one could. Both quarterbacks were really efficient. That's my sort of buzzword this year. Efficient with where they put the ball, efficient with how they place the ball, efficient with their passing numbers overall. Like, stats don't always tell the story. And in this game, they do. Like, Sam Darnold played well enough to beat a Super Bowl contending team. Jared Goff played well enough to beat a Super Bowl contending team. And I looked at both of this and thought, man, both teams took punches and both teams gave punches. They managed to lose momentum and regain momentum. Like, these are the things you want to see from teams that aren't just good, teams that are great. I walked away from this so impressed, and I really didn't care about the outcome. As a person that's not a fan of either team, I didn't care if the kick got made at the end at all. What I cared about was, man, we are seeing 2 teams that are showing you they're built for January football. That is such a huge part of this. And to watch the ability, particularly of Jared Goff, to carve up a defense that does confuse people, that sends pressure from everywhere, but also the willingness for Goff to take a sack. Like, when it wasn't there, he didn't force it. It's like, all right, we're taking the sack. We're going to live to see another play. This was brilliant football. It was a brilliant day for Jared Goff, and knowing exactly what he does, knowing exactly what they needed him to do, know exactly who he is as a player. Like, this team has become such the identity of Dan Campbell because they are all comfortable exactly with who they are, and it's fun to watch, man.
It's so much fun to watch. Again, it's because this offense, this Ben Johnson-led offense, their offensive coordinator, is just so one step ahead of everything. Even Brian Flores, who I think we'd both agree has been the best assistant coach in the NFL this year. Maybe Spagnuolo, maybe, there's other guys in the mix there, but he's obvious. Brian Flores is having a heck of a season, and Detroit had every answer. David Montgomery goes down with an injury in the first half. He came back. I was shocked he came back. Happy for him that knee injury wasn't serious, but they just had Jahmyr Gibbs running the ball. And Jahmyr Gibbs had more than 100 yards rushing today. On top of Jared Goff having 280 passing and being almost perfect, he has 15 of his first 15. This is a championship offense. There's no question in my mind that you put this team in the playoffs, they're going to put up points against any defense. I think that's what today proved really more than anything is we can play the best defensive football and we're still going to rush for 100 and throw for almost 300 and it's on the road and we're going to put up 32 points. We're fine. It's when they need a play, like you said, Amon-Ra St. Brown was well covered on a lot of these catches. I think he had 8 catches. It seemed like a lot of them, he has a guy draped on his back, and he still just comes down with the ball. He's so tough. This whole game, like you said, this whole game was just great execution on both sides. And like you said, this is really a high level football game.
8 catches on 8 targets.
Unbelievable.
I mean,
wow. I didn't
8 catches on 8 targets.
Right?
And then you think about the fact that Laporta only got 2 targets. Jameson Williams, remember a few weeks ago when people were saying, oh, Jameson's the real number 1 for this team. Like, that's died off. Everything's fine. Now, Jameson only got 1 target. So, to me, part of what makes the Lions so dangerous is they are still just chipping away at the iceberg of what they can actually be as an offense. And that's scary to think about. That, they didn't need the best of Laporta. They didn't need to get Jameson Williams worked into this game. They were able to just simply use what they knew and pound it into the ground over and over and over again. Part of this, the running backs, part of it, Amon-Ra. But, man, there is a brilliance to what they're doing offensively. I don't know how you stop it right now. The fact that they put 31 up on them.
Yeah. Oh, really, really good. I'm not. Look, I kind of planted my flag on Jared Goff for MVP. I thought it just made
weird
sense
flag
to me.
Design. It's a lot of letters. Jared Goff MVP. It's fine. Like there's a logo on it.
I'm not very artistic, but I'm not wrong, am I? Like I'm not just lapping myself. I'm taking a victory lap here because I really feel proud of the fact that he's in the mix here and he's moving up the odds at BetMGM and all that. I'm not wrong, right? Like if we were to take a vote today, I think Jared Goff would get some votes, wouldn't he?